block, Logan. She's ball set. Off the screen. Backside block. Out here, guys. Out here. Designated spot. I want to hear you. Go, go!
I was just going to say, just get a little nod, a little poking back in the head, like, oh, wait, I'm just thinking, my eyes closed. This spear thought he'd be here. He also thought he'd be here right about the net. We'll let him sit on it. Get it back. Post it. That's okay, we got to run the set. When they come out to the beer, if you want to grab, did Devin go grab cymbals? You want to go grab another snare for Mr. Cloutier to play? Jacob can run and get it. He needs his exercise. I'd say the same thing about Abby. I'd say the same thing about
From you on the steer, Jacob.
Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting presents boys basketball varsity action tonight as the Skowhegan Riverhawks take on our own Nokomis Warriors. Streamed live December 20th, 2022. And bringing today's game, none other than old friends, Ashton Karen and Ryan Bell.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nokomis Regional High here in Newport, Maine for tonight's Class A varsity boys basketball action between your very own Nokomis Warriors and the Riverhawks of Skowhegan High School. Ashton Karen and Ryan Bell bringing you the action. Ashton, what do you have on these two teams tonight?
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be a really, really interesting matchup. We got Skowhegan. Skowhegan was slated to be the number 2 seed here in Class A North coming into the season, and they've fallen already to 0-2 on the season, going up against Nokomis, a team that just lost 2 All-Stars, and they're already at 1-0. This is going to be a game that's going to be real, real fun to watch. I think this is going to be the game of the week.
Well, you mentioned the loss of 2 All-Stars. You have Cooper and Ace Flag traveling south all the way down to Florida at Montverde Academy. I believe they're playing in Florida this weekend, actually. But, of course, 2 integral members of that Class A state championship team a year ago, of course, winning 43-27 over Falmouth in the Class A state championship a year ago. A player that is returning that also played a large role in that, Madden White. I think he's going to be a key on that Nokomis team tonight.
I agree. I think Madden White really is the man to run through this Nokomis offense. I think he's the key player, the senior this year. I think he's the leader of this team, and so far the stat sheet has agreed. He scored over 25% of the points for Nokomis against Bangor. He had 10 on the stat sheet, which a really, really good game to open up. It's nice to see him fill that leadership role here.
Yeah, 19 points for Madden White against Bangor on the road in what was a 39-26 victory, and that put Nokomis at 1-0 on the season. Of course, Nokomis only played 1 game, missed out on that opening night where a lot of other teams did play. Skowhegan 0-2 on the season. Like you said, Ashton, a big surprise there. Opened up with a large loss to Brewer, 37-60 on Brewer's end. Of course, that was a little bit expected as Brewer is slated to be the number 1 seed here in A North. But then, traveling to Mount Blue in Farmington, Skowhegan lost big again, and it was Adam Savage who got shut down in that game, only scoring 6 points. And he had double-digit turnovers on the night as well. Yeah,
that was a 67-45 loss. I mean, that's a big loss on the season, and I mean, this is a big-sized team, so it was really interesting to see Mount Blue cut through that and bring the W in that game. And I think that size that I just talked about is going to be a really big key here for Nokomis. I think Nokomis probably lacks a little bit of size. You can see it right here on the court. Skowhegan is a very tall team and a very athletic team at that, and I think this is going to make for a really interesting matchup, and I'm excited to see how Nokomis plans on countering that.
Well, going back to that Mount Blue game against Skowhegan, it was Evan Sterling putting up 34 points for the Mount Blue side. He was able to slice through that Skowhegan defense, but the Mount Blue defense was also menacing. They've had a full court press running against Skowhegan. I got a chance to watch a couple minutes of that game, and Mount Blue, really, the defensive end looked incredible. So I'll see if Nokomis tries to replicate that press in this game. I think they should sit in a zone, though, with a lack of size. I don't think they can match up man for man with that trio of Adam Savage, Colin, and Kyle LePage on the Skowhegan side.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's really going to be the key here, Nokomis' defense, to beating this team.
All right, well, we will hand it over. It looks like it's going to be Simon Elias announcing our starting lineup.
Good evening and welcome to Nokomis Regional High for today's contest between the visiting Riverhawks of Skowhegan Area High School and your Nokomis Warriors. We hope you enjoyed today's game and support these athletes, coaches, and officials in a positive manner. Now let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Riverhawks. A senior, number 3, Quincy McCrae. A senior, number 23, Patrick McKenney. A senior, number 32, Kyle LePage. A senior number 33, Colin LePage. And a senior number 34, Adam Savage. The Riverhawks are coached by Tom Netto and assisted by Eli Soul, Isaac Witham, and Randy Washburn. And now, make some noise for your Nokomis Warriors. A junior, number 4, Alex Grant. A senior, number 12, Grady Hartsgrove. A junior, number 15, Connor Sides. A freshman, number 20, Seth Bowden. And a senior, number 35, Madden White. The Warriors are coached by Earl Anderson and assisted by Kyle Peavy, Josh Grant, and Mike Susi. The officials for tonight's game are John Choppy and Lon Winchester. At this time, would you all please rise and join us in honoring America with the playing of the national anthem by our very own Nokomis Pep Band and the presentation of colors by the Nokomis JROTC Color Guard. As is customary with the Color Guard, please remain standing until they have exited the gymnasium. Thank you.
All right, so a wonderful rendition of our country's national anthem by the Nokomis Pep Band, conjoined with the Nokomis JROTC squad. We are about ready for action here from Nokomis Regional High. Once again, I am Ryan Bell alongside Ashton Karen. We will have Skowhegan going from right to left with the black uniforms and the orange trim. Nokomis dressed in white with the maroon trim. It's going to be Madden White against Adam Savage on the tip-off. And here we go. Savage tips it in the direction of LePage, is picked up by Alex Grant off the hands of a couple of outstretched players, and Nokomis will get the first possession. Here's Bowden, the freshman, taking it straight to the rim. A lot of contact there, no call. Skowhegan come away with the miss, and they'll have their first possession here. It's LePage driving to the hole, spin move on White, and he traveled. That was Kyle LePage driving to the hole there. Put up 14 points on opening night against Brewer High School on the road in that big loss, as we mentioned. And here come Nokomis again. Grady Hartsgrove at the top of the key. Scored 6 points against Bangor for Nokomis a week ago today. That also on the road. Here's Connor, sides to the hole. Reverse layup is no good. Come the other way is McKenney. Lobs one up under the basket. It's snatched by McCray. Back out. McKenney again. Hands it off to Adam Savage. Savage, a senior guard on this Skowhegan team. Noted as the best player by a lot of critics' standards. Scored 10 points on opening night, 6 points against Mount Blue, as we mentioned. Nice feed underneath, and that's finished off by Colin LePage for the opening points of the day. Now here's Madden White with the ball. Feeds it underneath the Hartsgrove, back outside to Sides. Bowden with it, puts it down. Nice feed underneath. Madden White going for the dunk, and he is rejected by Kyle LePage at the rim. Wow.
Great defensive effort there from the Skowhegan Riverhawks. I mean, they don't want Nokomis to get on the board tonight.
That's incredible. Nice feed underneath. Kyle LePage to Colin LePage for another 2 points there. Nice seal off underneath. And you're starting to see it already, that size advantage for Skowhegan. And here's Grady Hartsgrove. Nice feed. It goes into Connor's sides for 2, and he'll open the scoring for the Warriors.
Great vision, great cut there. Really good way for Nokomis to get on the board.
Now, it's interesting to note, Skowhegan did have one change in their starting lineup from their last matchup. Quincy McCray gets into the starting lineup instead of Patrick McKenney. And so the Warriors get the ball back here. It's going to be Alex Grant to bring the ball up. Now look for Alex Grant to have a big night tonight. Scored 4 points against Bangor. Did not connect on a single three-pointer, which seems to be his forte, judging on years past. Here's Grady Hartsgrove with an open look. Floats it up and in. And this game's tied at 4. Nice look there from Grady Hartsgrove. Found a little space on the right side. Popped it up and popped it in. Here's the drive. No good. Rebound to LePage, and he'll draw the foul underneath the basket. Nice penetration there from Patrick McKenney. And the offensive rebound goes to Colin LePage. We'll have some fun with that tonight. Colin and Kyle LePage, of course, the two brothers on this Riverhawks team. Trying to distinguish the two of them, 32 and 33 respectively. The first free throw is off from Colin LePage. And he'll go over 2. Madden White snags the board there. Feed ahead to Bowden. Bowden really being aggressive on the dribble so far tonight. Kicks it back out to Sides. Once again, it's Bowden. And now it's Hartsgrove on the perimeter. Sides drives in. Layup off the side of the backboard, no good. It's Alex Grant coming up with a steal in the backcourt, though. Nokomis will slow it down. Bowden with an open look for 3, and he gets it.
Nice little Drano there from Bowden to open up the scoring for him tonight. That's exactly what Nokomis needed there. Talk about this shift in momentum.
And this is the first time I've been able to watch Seth Bowden play in person. Seth Bowden, I'm being corrected now. My apologies, Seth Bowden hits the 3 there, but he's looked really good. A couple of dribble penetrations, and he's able to knock down the 3 on that occasion. Layup is missed by Colin LePage. He snatches it back from Hartsgrove. Spin move, and he traveled again. That's Kyle LePage underneath the basket. And it's a turnover for Skowhegan. Nokomis leading 7-4 now. Here's Grant. Puts it down behind the back dribble. Over to Hartsgrove. Hartsgrove playing on the perimeter a lot here tonight. Sides. Hand off to Bowden. And now it's Madden White. Nokomis being patient here. It's Alex Grant for 3. That one short. Hustle for the rebound. It's picked up by Adam Savage, who comes the other way with it. Now it's Savage getting straight to work on Madden White. Nice move there. Floats it up off left. Offensive board to Kyle LePage. He also misses. It's McCray getting a 3rd offensive board and putting it up and in for Skowhegan. Nokomis looking to answer here. They have to do better on that glass. Giving up a few offensive rebounds. Now here's Hartsgrove finding some space underneath. Unable to get it to go there. Colin LePage brings it up. Now McKenney over to McCray, wide open for three, all net.
That was a great look there. Nokomis just didn't even see him, wide open. Nothing but net.
And McCray finding plenty of room on the perimeter. It's almost as if Grant was daring him to shoot. He did, and he knocked it down. Skowhegan retakes the lead now. A couple of early substitutions going to come in for the Riverhawks on the next dead ball. But for now, it's Madden White out to Bowden. Now Hartsgrove finds some space and knocks down the three.
Another little Drano there, 2 in a row for Nokomis.
And you'll see our graphics up on the screen. The classic Drano, Ashton Karen catchphrase here in the booth. Kickouts tipped. Kyle LePage corrals the loose ball. Now here's Savage, going to be guarded by Madden White tonight. And that's a matchup I'll have my eyes on as Kyle LePage in and out. And White with another board. Warriors leading by 1. Bowden, nice jab step, gets to the rim, finds a little space, and he's blocked by Adam Savage. That little space quickly closed down. Connor Sides gets a piece of that. It's tipped up into the air by Madden White, and the ball will find its way out of bounds. Skowhegan ball. And so the substitutions will come in. It's Adam Fitzgerald coming in, as well as number 20, Ryan Donahue. So Skowhegan quickly with the substitutions. We'll have an offensive possession here. Coming off the screen, Madden White sticks with Savage. Spin move in the lane, up and in, but it's a travel. And I'm sure that's something that has been spoken about with Adam Savage, of course, having double-digit turnovers against Mount Blue. A travel there. That's the 3rd travel of the night on Skowhegan. And it looks like it's going to be a quick timeout, maybe. Looked like the signal, but not sure exactly what the stoppage is for. But into the game comes Dawson Townsend for his first appearance of the night, coming back off of a surgery on his knee, repairing some cartilage. Didn't show against Bangor on opening night. This will be his first minutes of the night after a strong freshman year. Hartsgrove misses at the rim. And we talk about a strong freshman year from Dawson Townsend. Quite a few returners from that state championship team. You have Connor Sides, Alex Grant, and Madden White, all regular starters. And then you also had Dawson Townsend, who started a few games, but also saw significant minutes off the bench. So did Grady Hartsgrove.
Yeah, I think once he's fully healthy, Dawson Townsend, another really key player here for Nokomis. I think if they want to make a playoff run this year, he's going to be really, really involved with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking to take a larger role in this team, of course, as we mentioned, with the missing Flag twins. Foul called here. Skowhegan will have an inbound under the basket. Fitzgerald to take it, and Bowden's going to come straight back in here. Quick substitutions. Connor Sides going to the bench. Which will leave Townsend as the 2, I would imagine, if not Bowden. Now underneath, loose ball picked up by Madden White. Streaking forward, Dawson Townsend gives it up, finds himself wide open for 3, and it's long. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Nokomis leading 10-9. Adam Savage between the legs dribble. Ball's loose, and it's picked up by Fitzgerald, but he loses it over that burgundy line. And Nokomis will get the ball back with 30 seconds on the clock.
Relentless defense here from Nokomis. You know, they can't score if they can't get it in the paint, and Nokomis is just trying to prove that theory.
Active hands from Alex Grant. Not the largest player, but he is ferocious. He's a little pest on the defensive end. Forces the turnover there from Skowhegan. Now here's Madden White, guarded by Kyle LePage, puts it down. Comes off a screen from Hartsgrove. Feed over to Bowden, finds some room, and hits another 3.
One. Goodness gracious, the freshman, Seth Bowden, right before the buzzer, puts Nokomis up 4.
And that's how it'll end. 13-9 at the end of the first quarter. A strong performance here from the Warriors, leading a very good Skowhegan team.
I tell you what, that's exactly right. I mean, this is a very good Skowhegan team, and Nokomis up 4 at the end of the quarter. That's really, really good for them. We're looking at their Bangor game. You know, they got up 12-6 in the first quarter, and they just kept the lead the entire game. So let's look to see them do that again here tonight. Keep Skowhegan on the defensive end. I think they can do it.
Yeah, and over to the Riverhawks, this tough start, hey, could be in part to 4 of their key players being a part of that football team that won a state championship for Skowhegan, namely Adam Savage, who was the quarterback on that team. He finished with 154 rushing yards, 190 passing yards, and 2 interceptions on defense in the state championship game. So trying to transfer over from the gridiron to the hardwood has been a bit of a struggle so far for this Skowhegan team. Of course, Kyle LePage and Colin LePage also members of that football team as well. So the chemistry hasn't quite been there. Of course, those players missed a significant portion of the preseason in basketball. So still trying to catch their stride. It's going to be the same 5 for Skowhegan, the same 5 for Nokomis that just finished that first quarter, and we are back underway in the second. McKenney puts it down. Colin LePage at the top of the key trying to find a pass. He finds McKenney. Now it's Fitzgerald. Guarded tightly by Grant. And over to Savage. Slow things up. Savage fakes a 3. Over to McKenney, finds wide open and knocks it down.
You know, that's the one thing. I mean, we've had half of Skowhegan's points have come from wide open threes. You know, I understand you want to protect the paint, but you can't let those wide open shots happen.
And a hefty upperclassman presence from the Riverhawks here. A lot of seniors on their squad as here comes Madden White drawing the foul at the basket. Looking to answer that Skowhegan 3 with a couple of points of his own. He'll do it from the charity stripe. Madden White, as we mentioned, 19 points against Bangor. Really turned it on in that second half as Nokomis edged away. He misses the first there. And going back to that Bangor game once again, it was really tenacious defense from Nokomis, but only being able to put up 39 points was not a strong suit for the Warriors as White goes 0 for 2. Now the feed underneath. Hartsgrove gets a piece of it. Grant knocks it away from Fitzgerald. He picks it up. Over to Townsend in the corner. Bowden will try another one. He's hit as he shoots, and it'll fall short. Adam Savage with a nice rebound there. Takes it straight to the basket. Fans calling for a foul, and it's called.
I thought I saw an extra step there, and I definitely did. That was looked like a great play, but just took one too many.
Yeah, those long strides all the way from the three-point line. No dribbles. Hard to get there in 2 steps, and doesn't look like he did. Packed house on hand. They were very vocal about that call. As Bowden gets to the rim, draws the foul. Thought he had an and one there, just spins off. But he'll get 2 looks from the line. So you can really make Nokomis earn it here.
That was a great drive in by Bowden. I mean, freshman player, you usually don't see them play with this much aggression and intensity, and he's bringing it all.
So back into the game comes McRae. Adam Savage will take a break. 6:34 to go in the half. And yeah, as you said, Bowden having a really strong start to the season. Of course, starting, as we would assume, in place of Dawson Townsend. But he's really making a case for himself to stay in that starting lineup, that's for sure. Here's Fitzgerald. Coming around LePage. Now here's McKenney. Feet underneath. Colin LePage working on Alex Grant. That's a mismatch you want, but it's Townsend stripping the ball, and now Madden White in transition lays it up and in.
That's going to open the scoring for Madden White tonight. Great transition basketball there.
You almost wondered if he was going to go up and throw it down. And elects for a layup here with a Skowhegan defender on his back. 2 points is 2 points, though, and Nokomis leads 15-12. Tipped ball. It finds the hands of Donahue. And it's a jump ball forced by Townsend. So back-to-back plays on the defensive end from Dawson Townsend. And Nokomis get the possession arrow in their favor. So it's Alex Grant to bring it up. Nokomis trying to slip away a little bit here. Back to Townsend. Now out to Madden White. Alex Grant tries a three. He's got some space, and it rims out once again. Same looking shot as he had earlier in the first quarter. Unable to get it to drop. And Grant, what I would say is the best three-point shooter on this Nokomis team, has been unable to get it going in the first two games. We'll see if he can heat up here late in the second quarter. Here comes Madden White. Tough shot. Put-back attempt also misses. There's Donahue sweeping up the glass to get the rebound. There's McKenney underneath. Two Warrior defenders. He slips away. It was Donahue missing the layup. He gets his own rebound, misses again. And McCray once again sweeping in to finish it off. It's the second time McCray's snuck in there and just tossed up a rebound. He's got 4 points on the night. Nice move there from Hartsgrove. Sends Donahue to the floor. Bowden picks it up. Now it's Madden White for three. Back rim and out. Dawson Townsend finds the long rebound, and he is fouled before Madden White can throw up a little floater.
Just going to do a little stat correction for you, Ryan. McCray actually has got 7 on the night. He's got half of Skowhegan's points right now.
He did. He hit that three. Yep, so 7 points of the 14. A 1-point advantage for the Warriors. Townsend trying to extend that, and he will with the first free throw. Back into the game comes Colin LePage and Adam Savage in place of, Kyle LePage coming into the game in place of Colin LePage. And then it's Adam Savage coming in for Adam Fitzgerald. Townsend's second free throw is pure, and it is 17-14 with a quick timeout called here by the Warriors. Of course, head coach. Why am I drawing a blank?
Head coach Anderson.
Head coach Earl Anderson. That's a tough one to forget, isn't it? After he came in and brought Nokomis their first state championship in his first year last year. Not sure why I couldn't remember that one. But yeah, Earl Anderson taking charge of this program a year ago, of course, winning the state championship. We'll see what he can do with this talented group of players once again. Looking to go 2-0 on the season. Nokomis will face Mount Blue in their next game. That's on Thursday at 7 p.m. on the road over in Farmington, which will be another tough game. It's been a tough start to the season in terms of scheduling for the Warriors. We faced AA Bangor, got a nice win there, and then Skowhegan, who's supposed to be a top seed here in A North.
This is preseason polls had these guys very, very high up in the rankings.
Of course, and for Skowhegan, they'll face Erskine. That'll be in Skowhegan. Erskine 0-2 on the year. And that's a game that Skowhegan definitely should be winning. And we'll see. So we continue here in the second quarter. McKenney over to Savage. Now up top, it's Donahue feeding underneath to Kyle LePage. Nice move, little hook shot. Finds the net. And it stays close here. Connor Sides back into the game over to Hartsgrove. Nokomis really playing on the perimeter here. Working on that dribble drive action, trying to get some penetration and kickouts. But no player really stagnant under the rim. As it goes in to Hartsgrove. Now it's White. Reverse layup is good. Madden White.
That's a great drive there, and I think that's really highlighted what Nokomis has done here. Kind of leaving that paint open, driving in, finding open lanes, and being able to finish on it. And that might be the key for them here tonight.
Now here's Savage. Swings it around. Alex Grant gets some fingers to it. He's saying it should be Warrior ball. It is Warrior ball. Off the outstretched arm to Patrick McKinney. Alex Grant with another great defensive play. Connor Sides quickly finds his way back to the bench. In place of, I believe Townsend came back in for him. And here is Madden White. Back to Hartsgrove, trying to find a little space. He's stripped of the ball by McKenney. Now he's doubled in the backcourt. Nokomis with a light press here, not to the extent of Mount Blue, but they have applied a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. And it's worked for him as Bowden gets sealed off inside. Great recovery, but he's going to commit a foul on Colin LePage. We've seen Skowhegan do that a couple of times. One of the LePage brothers gets some room underneath, seals off the defender. A little lob pass underneath. It'll lead to a trip to the line. Of course, Colin LePage, a senior. Ashton and I have been calling his name for a few years now.
Yeah.
The LePage brothers and Adam Savage, all seniors this year. Looking to make one last run at it.
That's been a really interesting trio to watch as they grow, because I think all through our announcing career, they were very dominant and very key players on their team, and to see them kind of at their peak this year.
White tries a putback attempt. He misses them both. Frustrated with himself there as Adam Savage comes away with it. Now here's McCray drawing another foul. And Skowhegan with a chance to tie or take the lead with 2 here from the line.
And that's 2 fouls right in a row there from Bowden.
Yeah, and we mentioned Skowhegan, of course, making it to the Class A North semifinals before losing big to Brewer a year ago in a tournament that, as we mentioned, saw Nokomis win a state championship. But not looking like the same team so far in the early season are the Riverhawks. The second one is out, and over the back foul on Kyle LePage, and Nokomis will get the ball with an even game at 19.
I was going to say, I mean, and this is a very similar team. I think Levi O'Bear's a key player that they lost who played really good from beyond the perimeter. But, you know, I think this is a team that for Skowhegan just needs to find their groove and get back into that. I think once we see him in mid-season form, you know, we might be having a completely different conversation here.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think it's going to be tough for anyone to knock off top-seeded Brewer. Of course, Coney sitting at 3-0, a top Class A North, maybe with the best shot to do it, although Nokomis have looked strong as Alex Grant knocks down a mid-range jumper. Puts Nokomis back in front. Deflection there from Madden White. Out of bounds, Riverhawks ball.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty unique, the situation that Nokomis is in right now. You know, coming off a state championship win, and yet somehow they're still the dark horse here. And I think it's going to be really cool to see them as they play throughout the year and hopefully be really competitive. A nice little layup there from Townsend in the transition.
Really good feed from Madden White as well on the bounce pass there. See if that duo can get it going here. Minute 38 to go. And Madden White once again with the steal. It's Adam Savage breathing down his neck, but it doesn't matter. Madden White puts it down. Nokomis extend the lead to 6. A quick timeout from Skowhegan.
Nokomis really capitalizing on the transition there. 2 great defensive plays, 2 great offensive finishes. That's the kind of stuff we're going to need to see from them. And as we've seen so far, could really, really propel them to getting a better lead here, hopefully winning the game.
And we will take a quick look at our sponsors for tonight's game. First off, D.A. Gould and Grandson Excavation, 938-2567. Over 40 years of experience and certified. No job is too small. We'd also like to thank A.E. Robinson in Corona. That's 207-307-9166 for all your convenience store needs. Thank you to those 2 sponsors for tonight. As we are about ready to get back underway. Skowhegan with the ball, 1:28 on the clock. And it's McKenney to bring the ball up. Crossover move on Grant. He's able to cross the halfway line. Now here's Kyle LePage, back over to McKenney. Puts it down, loses it out of bounds. It'll stay Skowhegan ball. Grant and Coach Anderson thinking it should have been going the other way. Instead, Skowhegan keeps it. Colin LePage comes across to inbound the ball. See what Skowhegan can draw up from this inbound play coming out of the timeout. It's McKenney putting the ball to the floor. Kyle LePage guarded by Bowden. Now McCray, Savage, and McKenney. in the corner. Savage finds some space. His first attempt of the night from beyond the arc finds the net, and that's a big shot from Adam Savage.
That's actually going to open up the scoring for him tonight, I believe.
Yeah, so 44 seconds on the clock, and this game's back within 3. Alex Grant across the Hartsgrove. We'll see if Nokomis try and hold for the last shot here. Of course, no shot clock here in Maine high school basketball. Bowden does well to corral that pass, misses the turnaround jumper, and it will go the other way with 23 seconds to go, or 27 seconds to go, my apologies. Skowhegan most likely going to get the last shot here. As Bowden heads to the bench, Sides will finish out this half. Sides, of course, a very good defender. And across the line comes McKenney. Over to McCray. And now it's Savage trying another one and hitting another one. That ties it up at 25. 10 seconds on the clock. Nokomis are going to have to hurry here to get a shot off. It's Madden White. 4 seconds now. Over to Sides. And now it's Townsend gets it off before the buzzer and knocks it down.
What a Drano that one was.
Dawson Townsend at the end of the first half puts Nokomis back in front 28-25.
Absolute amazing way to capitalize on the period. As we go into the half, your leading scorers are going to be Dawson Townsend for Nokomis coming off the bench. He's got 7 points. He's been a really, really key part off the bench here for Nokomis. And over on the Skowhegan side, it's going to be Quincy McCray with 8 points tonight. Been a really, really good game here. We're going to see you after the half. Thanks for watching Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting.
I think that's a good idea.
All right, welcome back to Nokomis Regional High School, a packed house here once again for tonight's Class A varsity matchup between your Nokomis Warriors and the Riverhawks of Skowhegan High School. I'm Ryan Bell, alongside Ashton Karen, and your Warriors leading 28-25 after 2 periods of play. Ashton, what do you got?
Well, it's been a really, really interesting game, a lot of back and forth here, but, I mean, Nokomis has kind of kept this little bit of lead that they had, and I think going forward, that really needs to be what they capitalize on, and that's what they did against Bangor. They got a lead early in the first quarter. It wasn't a lot, but they hung on to it. And I think that's really the key here as they go into this third quarter of what they need to do. And I think the player that might be able to help them do it the most is Dawson Townsend. I mean, he came off the bench in the first. He had 7 points, led the team in scoring. I really think Skowhegan wasn't prepared for him to come off the bench with as much explosiveness as he did.
Yeah, and it was a late surge from Skowhegan that got him back in the game. Nokomis leading by as much as 6 before Skowhegan came right back into it, tied the game at 25, and then Dawson Townsend beating the buzzer to put Nokomis back in front by 3. Skowhegan will start with the ball here. It is McKenney over to McRae. Same starting 5s for both teams. For Nokomis, you have Connor Sides, Alex Grant. Oh, no, not the same starting 5s. Dawson Townsend comes in for Seth Bowden to start the second half, and he makes a play right here. Feed ahead to White is stripped away by Savage.
Savage, look at that, those interception skills that we talked about earlier.
And he throws a touchdown to Colin LePage, but it's going to be a charge taken by Connor Sides. So I'll take another try at the starting lineups. We got Madden White, Alex Grant, Connor Sides, Dawson Townsend fresh into the game, and then it's Grady Hartsgrove rounding out the Nokomis starting lineup for Skowhegan, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong this time, but it is the same starting lineup for Skowhegan. We have Adam Savage, the LePage twins, McRae, and McKenney back into the game. High post here, it's Madden White, feeds underneath the sides, an extra pass to Hartsgrove for 2.
That was a great read by Sides, seeing he didn't have the open layup. Little pass there, bounce past it, right in, wide open.
And that will extend the lead to 5. Savage, of course, playing as a guard, tries the layup, he misses. Kyle LePage high off the glass on the second chance opportunity, and he gets it to go. As I was saying, Adam Savage, a player with a lot of size. He tends to do his work on the perimeter. Pretty solid shooter. And good off the dribble as well. It's a little Page twins that tend to run the paint for the Riverhawks. As Alex Grant puts it down, back over to Townsend for 3, and he's short. McKenney taking it the other way. Thought about the 3. It was Savage. Puts it down instead, finds a little space from the elbow, misses. Offensive board in and out from LePage. Another opportunity, and he hooks it in. Nokomis really got to do some better work on the glass here if they're going to keep this lead, which is dwindled down to just 1 point. White with a nice move, finds Sides, spinning on his defender. He's double teamed, and he's fouled, or is he? He traveled. And so it's Riverhawks ball. Skowhegan with a bit of momentum right out of the gates here in the second half. It's Grant applying a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. McKenney drops it off to McRae. Now at the elbow, it's LePage out to Savage, tries a 3, and he hits it. Skowhegan reclaim the lead, 32-30.
Savage, you just said he looks like a post player, plays like a perimeter player, and I think that's why right there. He's got 9 points tonight, all from beyond the arc. I mean, shooters shoot. He has been absolutely killing it on the offensive end as a guard.
And it took him a minute to get it going. Once he did, he's hot. He's a streaky player. Nokomis will need to close out on him as we move forward here. 4 minutes, 52 seconds in the third quarter. White drives it underneath the sides, back out to White. Spins, fadeaway jumper, and he traveled. White can't believe it. It's going to be Riverhawks ball. Nokomis need to turn the tide here. A stop would be huge. Sides all over McCray. Foul called. It's going to be an offensive foul. I believe it was on the screen. We'll see who it goes on. 33, 34? 34. Adam Savage. And so it's a substitution coming in. 33. I read the numbers wrong. So that's going to be the third foul on Colin LePage.
And I think this is something we saw last year, too. Colin LePage and Kyle LePage, both very, very key players in the paint. And if they weren't careful, they'd find themselves out of the game in the end when those really key moments, that last half of the fourth quarter, they're going to need to watch out tonight and make sure that doesn't happen if they want to hold this lead.
Yeah, as we mentioned, a 2-point advantage. Townsend missing the three. It's tipped up in the air by White. Hartsgrove rips it away from Donahue and draws the foul. Strong play from Grady Hartsgrove. And the Warriors are fired up after that one. And Bowden gets back into the game. Townsend heads to the bench. Alex Grant inbound, lobs it up. White grabs it. Now it's sides. Round to Grant. Bumped there by LePage. Bowden, nice jab step, sends McCray to the floor, and it's an offensive foul.
That was a good take there by McCray. Bowden, just maybe a little bit of that rookiness there.
Not a whole lot of contact on that one, though. Bowden, as you mentioned, very aggressive going to the rim, especially in the first half. See if he's a little bit more careful there. Like I mentioned, not a whole lot of contact. Really good sell there from McCray.
And they're going to have to be careful. Bowden's got 4 tonight. If they want him late in this game, he's going to have to be careful.
And you have Townsend coming off of injury as Savage hits another. Well, as I was saying, you got Townsend coming off of injury. You don't want to push his limits too much, but he's going to come back in on the next dead ball. So we'll see if Nokomis goes deeper than the 6 that they typically do, as Madden White hits the short jumper from about 12. Cuts the lead back to 1 possession for the Riverhawks. McKenney, hand off to Savage. Savage is doubled here. Kyle LePage back out to McKenney for 3. He's all air, but the offensive rebound missed by Donahue.
Coast to coast, Hartsgrove takes the and one.
And flex right there, big man. Grady Hartsgrove with the and one. A chance to tie this game at 35.
Absolutely spectacular vision there by Hartsgrove. He saw the lane open at the top of the key, drove right through it, got the contact and the basket.
Fitzgerald going to check back in on the next dead ball for Skowhegan, or right now. This is a dead ball. So he comes in for McKenney. Fitzgerald, a freshman on the Riverhawks team, has seen significant minutes so far tonight. And here is Hartsgrove looking to tie it up at 35. He does so. We are all even here in Newport as a timeout called by Earl Anderson. We'll take a quick break, and we will look at a quick replay. Grady Hartsgrove with a nice bucket here. Not the and one, but it's Madden White. Sides with the extra feed, and Hartsgrove puts it up and in for 2. Really nice all-around play. Team bucket there for Nokomis. Always looking for that extra pass. And then, of course, Grady Hartsgrove with the coast-to-coast and 1, tying the game up after a really strong start to the half from the Riverhawks.
Yeah, Hartsgrove really showed up this half. He's got 10 points now. He's now the team leader for Nokomis, and I think that's really what we need to see more of from him. As one of these more senior players, I mean, he is a senior this year. This is the kind of play we expect to see.
And a quick thank you to our sponsors. We'll start with Newport Glass, 207-368-5698. Gilman Plumbing and Heating, 207-368-2335. And Sebastopol Valley Federal Credit Union, Newport and Pittsfield locations, 368-4940 and 487-5576. Thank you to our sponsors here on Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting. As we're ready to get back underway, this crowd is getting rowdy here. Madden White stumbles back, a little bit of contact, and here come the Riverhawks. Savage over to McCray. Puts it down. He's guarded tightly by Sides, and now it's LePage. 3 from Fitzgerald is short. Townsend snags the rebound. Nokomis looking to carry a little bit of momentum that they had coming into that timeout. Hartsgrove puts it down. Underneath, and he lays it in. Grady Hartsgrove is hot.
And if you look, that's a really interesting matchup there with Donahue on Hartsgrove, because Hartsgrove almost has a little bit of a height advantage, and he's able to capitalize on that in the paint. Not something you expect when Skowhegan's got such a taller team.
Now here's LePage underneath. Finding some room, using that big body, but he gets a travel. Skowhegan really struggling with the turnover so far tonight. They've missed out on quite a few baskets. Just taking that extra step. And here comes Alex Grant. It's Madden White taking the 3. It's a little bit of penetration. It goes to Sides, and he scoops it up with his elbow, taking a couple of steps, and that will also be called as a travel. It's getting a little bit sloppy here as we near the end of the third quarter. Minute 52 to go. Nokomis leading by 2, 37-35. A quick look elsewhere in Class A North tonight. You have top-seeded Coney sitting at 3-0. They're traveling to Lawrence. Brewer playing at a conference to Hamden Academy, who Nokomis beat narrowly in the preseason. Then you have Mount Blue going to Gardner in a game that tipped off at the same time as us. They're at 6:30. Camden Hills playing Mondomic Valley, who is now of Class B South, of course, formerly of Class A North. Foul called there, and it's going to be a charge drawn by Connor Sides. As I mentioned, Mondomic Valley.
Say, last time we played them was 2018 playoffs, wasn't it?
It was, and that was in the quarterfinals. Nokomis as the 2 seed in 2018. Of course, that was the Zach Hartsgrove, the brother of Grady Hartsgrove, led team that looked really good in the regular season. As I mentioned, finished as a 2, and then they were upset by Mondomic Valley as the number 6 that year, 49-44. Nokomis blowing that double-digit lead, but as I mentioned, Camden Hills playing them on the road, old foes of the Warriors. And Erskine facing Oceanside, and it's Mesolonsky who doesn't play tonight in Class A North. Loose ball scrounged up by Grant, behind the legs dribble. He's met by 2 Skowhegan defenders, throws it off the foot of 1. That's a tight call. It's going to go in favor of the Riverhawks. We had a great view of that, and I still couldn't tell who it went out off of, Ashley.
No, me either. All I could tell was that Alex Grant was trying his best to keep that ball in Warriors' possession.
He was swarmed by a couple of black shirts. And so, 52 seconds to go. It's going to be a travel on Adam Savage.
That's a tough one right there. That's a needless turnover that really, really could help Nokomis here. Capitalize. Let's see if they can do it.
Chance of you can't do that from the Nokomis student section. They are loud and packed in tonight.
And honest, too. Yeah.
Here comes Connor Sides. Bounce pass to Townsend. Out to Grant. Gets up for that one. Sides fakes the 3. Has some space for it. Elects not to take it. He'll go to the basket instead. Draws the foul and 1.
Look at that. Great follow through with the contact. Connor Sides puts Nokomis up 4. Let's see if he can make it 5 with 30 left here in this third quarter.
Huge basket there. We'll take a look at the replay. Elects not to take the 3. McCray giving him all kinds of space, and then makes the layup in response through the contact. Huge play from Connor Sides, who's been quiet on the offensive end so far tonight. Free throw is up and off. Challenging for the rebound was Hartsgrove. It comes down to Savage. Now here's McKenney working dangerously close to that half-court line. Savage gets it back after the turnover. Guarded by Townsend. You see Townsend wrapped up on the knee. He's looked okay, though. Not a whole lot of limp from him. Now here's Kyle LePage. 5 seconds on the clock now. Savage tries a 3, fading away. He misses. Grant has it stripped away. It's thrown up, and it's out after touching just about every part of the rim. That was Fitzgerald who threw it up at the buzzer. Grant thought he was going to run away with it and heave up a half-court shot. Fitzgerald had other ideas. regardless, that's how the third quarter will end. 39-35, the Warriors still in front.
It was a great quarter by the Warriors. Down by 3 at one point, were able to hammer back, get up by 4 going into the fourth. They've got the right momentum. They just need to hang on to it.
Yeah, and it's been a back-and-forth game. You don't want to go anywhere. Nokomis went down a couple of points, came surging back, and it's going to be a battle of momentum here in the fourth quarter. Ashton, take us through the leading scorers as we go into the final period of play.
Well, leading scorers after that third quarter, Grady Hartscove easily leads Nokomis. He's got 12 on the night, and Adam Savage is leading Skowhegan. He has hit 4 threes, and that's really been the key for Skowhegan here, is being able to hit that from the arc, and Adam Savage has been able to do it particularly well. You know, he plays that guard role really well for someone of that size, and we'll see if he can't capitalize a little bit more, try and cut down that lead, but Nokomis going to start with it.
All right, here we go. 8 minutes on the clock. Ryan Bell alongside Ashton Cairn bringing you the action tonight. Nokomis looking to close this one out in the final period of play. Connor Sides over to Hartsgrove. Feeds underneath, trying to find White. Off the hand of McKenney. Into the Warrior cheerleaders there on the baseline. Grant quickly gets it into White. Fires the pass. Sides unable to handle it. Now here comes Colin LePage. Both teams running out strong lineups. Feed underneath. LePage is doubled. He hands it off to McCray. Unable to finish at the rim. That was a good look there from McCray. Just left it a bit long. Bit of an awkward angle.
You know, I will say one thing about that. Something that Nokomis has done that I didn't expect this game is they've been really good on the glass and getting the rebounds that they need to get. And I didn't expect that with Skowhegan having such the size advantage, but Nokomis has been able to beat it regardless.
Well, you mentioned earlier the loss of Levi Aubert on the Skowhegan team, and that's been bigger than I expected. Really unable to get anything going on the perimeter, and that's allowed the Warriors to really just focus on the inside play of the two LePage brothers, which has been really stifled for the most part. So we'll see if Nokomis can keep it going defensively. 35 points on the board for Skowhegan with 7 minutes to go. Low pass. White all over it. McKenney slips away and draws the foul. Going up with the right hand. Nice play there from McKenney. Scoops up the low pass. Gets to the rim. We'll have a couple of chances from the line. Another interesting note will be to see the Warriors see a little bit of fatigue. Of course, this is only the second game of the season, and only 6 players deep into the bench so far tonight. First one goes down. Kenny, the second attempt. Hits them both. There were some jeers from the crowd. Now here comes Alex Grant. Sides, gets a hand on it. Now it's Bowden back into the game. Of course, on 4 fouls. Gonna have to be careful here, giving Townsend a bit of a rest. I would imagine Townsend is gonna finish this one out. Hartsgrove somehow slipped that through. 3 Skowhegan defenders. White, I believe, stepped on the line trying to save that one.
They called that one a travel.
Did they?
White, a little frustrated with that call. They've had a couple of these travel calls. I think both teams have found questionable, but
you got to say it's been even, though, going both
I will
ways.
say it has been even. I don't think that there's, definitely no scene bias here by any means.
Here's Kyle LePage on the wing. Savage, top of the key. Puts it down, finds some space, straight to the rim. Wide open layup is no good.
That's a tough one. Looked really, really good. Just couldn't get it to fall.
White a little off with the pass to Hartsgrove. He's able to keep possession here. You'd expect Adam Savage to put that one down. He tried to change hands midair. Would have been a nice bucket. As Bowden gets hit as he shot, and he misses. But he's able to strip it right back. Madden White picks up the loose ball, throws it all the way across. Bowden saw some contact. Alex Grant picks it up. Now it's Hartsgrove for three, and it's stuck.
That's a tough one. That looked like just a really fantastic play, and I will say, hats off to Bowden. Able to make that great effort, prevent the transition play, avoided fouling, staying in the game. Just too bad Nokomis couldn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, a little bit anticlimactic there. As Hartsgrove finds that little gap between the backboard and the rim. Here's Colin LePage spinning on Bowden and missing. Sides quickly up the other way. Trying to find some space. He does. Throws it up with the right hand and misses. Really nice hesitation move from Sides. Just unable to capitalize. Now it's going to be Sides on Savage. A little bit of a size mismatch there. Kenny swinging it around. Trying to find a pass here. Grant on him tightly. Goes to Colin LePage. Right at the edge of the Warrior logo. LePage all the way to the rim. Misses. His brother Kyle picks it up, and he also is unable to find the basket. Now here comes Bowden out of a nice press from Skowhegan. Warriors will slow it up. Not in any rush here, which is interesting if you think about it. A year ago today, the game plan for Nokomis is get out in transition, run with any team. You got the length, you got the speed with the Flag Twins, and now a little bit of a slower approach, trying to beat teams in the half-court set.
And I think what that's going to lead to is these more lower scoring games. I don't think this is a team that puts up 60, 70 in a game, but they might win a game with only 39, 40 points, as we've seen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right with that. Not a lot of these wide open games. Trying to slow it down a bit more. The one thing that has really carried over from last year is that tenacious defense of the Warriors. Keeping teams, of course, keeping Bangor to 26 points. They play in Class AA, of course, so. And 37 points against a really strong Skowhegan's team with 4 minutes to go. It's also an impressive feat. Bowden putting it down on Savage. Out to Sides. Taking it to the rack once again. Brings it all the way back out. Now here's White. And a timeout, Nokomis. So Nokomis leading 39-37. 3 minutes and 37 seconds to go. And don't go anywhere, because this is a close game. Nail-biter. Take a quick look at a replay here. It's going to be Madden White at the top of the key. Over to Sides. Driving to the bucket. Nice little scoop layup. And he's had a couple opportunities there with the right hand. Of course, he missed the second one after a nice hesitation move. But if Connor Sides can keep being aggressive and find space underneath the basket, that could be a key for this Warriors team.
Yeah, I think, I have to agree with you there. I think everybody sees him as a purely defensive player, but as we've seen, he's been able to capitalize. Skowhegan leaves the lane open. He sees it, and he takes the opportunity.
Yeah, he's definitely going to see a bigger workload on the offensive end this year. We'll see how he takes advantage of it. Now here's Townsend. Back to Sides. Sides guarded by Savage. We talk about an offensive performance from Sides, but having Adam Savage on him isn't going to make it very easy. Although it does look like Skowhegan might be in a zone here.
It does seem like,
switching up the looks, that's for sure. Hartsgrove out to Townsend. Now it's Sides. This Skowhegan defense definitely switching up here. Sides across to Townsend.
Now switching back to looks like a man. Not sure what the Skowhegan defense is trying to do here, but it's definitely mixing me up, so maybe it'll work.
Townsend thought about the three. Instead feeds it over to White. Now here's Sides. Long possession here. Nokomis being very patient on the offensive end. Leading by 2. Townsend picks it up. Cross-court pass to White, unable to handle it. Slips out of bounds. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game. 2-point lead for the Warriors. And the offensive production on both sides has really been halted here in the fourth quarter. Nokomis will have no issue with that, as here comes a timeout from the Riverhawks. And we will once again take a look at the sponsors for tonight's game. Hartley's, 207-368-5751. That's over in Newport, 30 Main Street. And we will also be naming a Hartley's Player of the Game tonight. A lot of worthy players for that on the Nokomis side of things. We shall see. Of course, you have Grady Hartsgrove leading in the points column, but a really impressive performance off the bench from Dawson Townsend as well.
Yeah, I think coming off the bench, Townsend, kind of supposed to ease into this game, and I think he's done that to an extent, but really, really just kind of came out with a lot of intensity, a lot more ferocity than I would have expected.
Well, he's definitely been forced into a larger role than I think Coach Anderson anticipated, with Bowden on 4 fouls. It is going to be Bowden in the game here with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go, but really not a misstep from Townsend from what I've seen so far. No issues. I'd expect to see him play at least a couple more possessions here in this game, as there's nearly a backcourt. There is a backcourt violation.
No, what happened was, he avoided the backcourt violation, passed it right back to Adam Savage, who hadn't moved in bounds yet.
So an interesting play there out of the timeout. I'm sure Skowhegan will not be too excited with that. And another timeout. Nokomis calls it this time. I think they're going to try and go offense-defense with Townsend and Bowden is what it looks like, as Townsend will come back into the game here, trying to avoid that 5th foul for Bowden with 2:07 to go here in the 4th period of play.
Yeah, I can tell you, I don't think coming out of the huddle, that's exactly what Skowhegan wanted to do on the opening play, but hopefully we'll see, can Nokomis capitalize on having the ball.
Of course, Nokomis sitting tied with 2 other teams for 2nd place in Class A North at the moment. Skowhegan all the way at the bottom. Of course, very early on here, but
yeah, there's a lot of basketball left to play this season, so I don't think Skowhegan's going to stay there for long, but I think Nokomis proving a case that they may be a higher-seeded team this year than people expected.
I definitely think they could be a contender. Of course, Brewer going to be a tough one to beat, as here's a foul on Skowhegan.
That was a great play there. Hartsgrove wide open under the basket, was able to get some contact after the missed shot. Hopefully we'll see, can he capitalize on these foul shots?
Huge free throws here from Hartsgrove. 1:43 to go. Could extend this to a 2-possession game as Bowden gets back in, and as I predicted, it looks like they're going offense-defense. Hartsgrove puts up the first of a 1-and-1, and he misses. That is one thing that really hasn't been a huge factor so far tonight, is the foul count. Although it looks like Nokomis will be in the bonus moving forward. Here's McKenney trying to find a pass, trapped in the corner. He gets it to Savage. White all over him. Sides nearly came away with the steal on McCray. Now it's McKenney finding himself with some space. Airballs the 3. It's tipped out of bounds by Colin LePage, and the Warriors get the ball back.
Look at that. You're absolutely right with that. Townsend going to come back in here for offense. This one's shaping up to be a real nail-biter.
1:12 to go. Nokomis clinging to that 2-point advantage. A bucket here would be huge. Madden White. The stutter step move, gets it over to Grant. Almost trying to find some space on the perimeter. Sides does so. Back out to Grant. And it's going to be a foul. So Connor Sides with a 1-and-1. Edging ever so closer to that double bonus. That's going to be a 4th foul on Colin LePage. So LePage and Bowden both in 1 foul away from being eliminated from the game, as Sides misses the 1-and-1. 50 seconds to go. Adam Savage bringing it across the halfway line. 44 seconds on the clock. a long time to drain. Underneath, Kyle LePage ties the game at 39. Wow, we got a game on our hands here. Offense has been hard to come by, but we are all level with 35 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter.
That was an absolutely greatly drawn up play there by Skowhegan. Wide open was Kyle LePage, and good on him for capitalizing on it.
Yeah, so we are coming right down to the wire here. Once again, Ryan Bell alongside Ashton Karen here live from Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting at Nokomis Regional High School. This is the second game of the season for your Warriors, sitting at 1-0. Third game for the Skowhegan Riverhawks, sitting at 0-2. Both teams desperate for a win here.
You're absolutely right. I think Nokomis trying to prove that they still are a player here in Class A North, and Skowhegan trying to get their season jump-started. And I think absolutely both of these teams very hungry for a win tonight.
You're looking at the number 1 and number 3 seeds in Class A North last season. Looking to replicate those performances. Nokomis with the ball. McKenney going to apply a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. Grant will bring the ball up. And here we go. Will Nokomis get the last shot? It goes to White. Let's see what Coach Anderson has drawn up here. Through the legs of Hartsgrove, tipped out of bounds. Nokomis keep it. A nervy play there from the Warriors. Gonna have to inbound again. Low pass, slipped through the legs of Hartsgrove. He did well to force a little bit of a loose ball scuffle. And now here he is again. Hartsgrove, hands off to Grant. 10 seconds on the clock now. Nokomis looking to go 2-0. Sides, puts it down. Finds a little space, drives to the hole, kick out. Alex Grant for 3. It's short. Hartsgrove puts it back.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And it rolls out. 2 golden opportunities for the Warriors to win it there. And we are headed to overtime.
We are headed to overtime. That was an absolutely astonishing ending to the game. And Nokomis, you're right, two opportunities, couldn't capitalize. Now this is going to be a very, very interesting overtime.
And if anybody on that Warriors team you want to be taking the 3 at the end of the game, it's Alex Grant. Really good look. Really close to going in, too. Just off the front rim. And, of course, Grady Hartsgrove following it up. Just missing on the putback right before the buzzer. I think that would have counted had it gone down. And so now we go into overtime with 2 players on 4 fouls. That's Colin LePage and Seth Bowden of each team respectively. I don't anticipate Nokomis is going to go any deeper than 6 on the bench, so fatigue definitely going to be a factor. Skowhegan not going very deep into their bench either. So we can see the flags in attendance tonight. We got a Duke sweatshirt on there from Ralph Flagg, of course, father and mother of Cooper and Ace Flagg in attendance tonight, and Hunter Flagg, the brother of the duo. Of course, Hunter, a part of the state championship team last year. Cheering on the Warriors as alumni and still parents in some extent. So 4 minutes on the clock in this overtime period. We're going to replicate the opening jump. Madden White, Adam Savage. Nokomis did get possession off the opening tip, but it was Savage that won it, and he'll win it a lot more clean this time. Goes to McKenney. And we are underway in overtime here from Nokomis. Feet underneath, Kyle LePage wide open for 2. Here comes Alex Grant, looking to shake off that final play of regulation. Underneath, sides, looking to put it up, fading away, just misses. And the foul is going to go on Alex Grant, reaching in, trying to chase down that rebound. So Riverhawk ball. 3.5 to go. Bowden checking in for the first time in this overtime period, as does Colin LePage, place of Donahue. Nokomis with a nice press here, although they'll just let Kyle LePage run past half court. backing down Hartsgrove. Misses the layup. A really nice rebound there from Grant. Swooping in to get it. If you're Nokomis here, you need a bucket. Bowden passes up the open three. Fresh into the game. Now Hartsgrove. With LePage all over him. Back to Grant, and now it's White. Hand off to Grant. And White will draw the foul. Back into the game comes Donahue, so similar to the Nokomis offense defense of Townsend and Bowden, it's going to be Donahue and LePage switching off on opposite possessions for the Riverhawks. A 1-and-1 here for Nokomis. This will be the last 1-and-1 before Nokomis reaches the double bonus. And White knocks it down. Huge free throw there from Adam White. Chance to tie it up here. And that was actually the 5th foul on Colin LePage, as White ties it up at 41. So Colin LePage will see his night end just a minute into the overtime period. I assume we'll see a bit more of Ryan Donahue as we wind down here in overtime. McCray sides tightly guarding him. Adam Savage. Been a menace from beyond the arc. Nice feed underneath. Kyle LePage once again flipping it up and in. And the Riverhawks reclaim their lead.
Kyle LePage, he's had all of Skowhegan's last 6 points.
White, tough drive to
look
the
at
bucket
that.
for 2.
My goodness, Madden White. That's the type of play we need more of from him. Absolutely.
And White,
amazing finish there.
White starting to take over here in this 4th quarter and overtime. Had a bit of a quiet start to the game. But Nokomis need him now more than ever as McCray drops it from 10 feet away.
All of a sudden, we've seen a low-scoring 4th quarter translate to quite the opposite here.
And the shots are falling as Madden White gets a good
Oh
look.
my
And it rolls
goodness! Madden White!
Back and forth we go here from Nokomis. 45-45 in overtime. A minute 40 to go in the period. McKenney to Adam Savage. Back to McKenney. Donahue finds McCray, who scored that last bucket. And now LePage, who's been hot in overtime, spins on Hartsgrove, and he traveled. Huge call there, goes in favor of the Warriors. And Townsend hustles up to get back in the game. We'll see if Nokomis can keep the offensive momentum. Got to get the ball in the hands of Madden White here, don't you?
I would have to agree, you know. Talk about a player that's going to convert. If it's anybody right now, I'd say it's him.
See if he draws a double team. He's got the ball now. Kyle LePage on him tightly. Hartsgrove hands off to Townsend. Now once again it's White. Right
Look
back
at
to
that.
White,
That's-
driving to the basket,
Oh
and
my
he finishes
goodness!
again.
Madden White is taking over.
Back in front now. 47-45, Warriors in the lead. And this gym is loud. Timeout, Skowhegan. Wow. What a turn of events. Let's take a couple of look at these finishes from Madden White. Hand off here, top of the key, straight to the rack, through the contact. No problem there. Madden White absolutely having his way. And then again here, top of the key. He's going to cut hard. Good feed from Hartsgrove, and he finishes with the left hand through the contact.
That last one, oh my goodness. Adam Savage and Kyle LePage in front of him. He don't care. He don't care at all. Absolutely.
And you could make an argument for a foul call in either of those plays, but no problem from Madden White. No argument, no nothing. He's in the zone. 43 seconds to go. Nokomis need a stop. And out of the timeout, you see Ryan Donahue, McKenney, McCray, Kyle LePage. And it'll be Adam Savage to inbound for Skowhegan. Got Alex Grant, Townsend, Sides, White, and Hartsgrove for the Warriors. Inbound goes to McKinney. Bounce pass is stripped away by Townsend. Loose ball on the floor. It's picked up. And a foul called.
Something's been called. Referees will confer.
If anything, it's got to be a foul on Townsend trying to pick the ball up. And it's a travel. So it's a travel on Townsend standing up with the ball. Skowhegan are going to get another crack at it. 35 seconds to go. And it's going to be a timeout, Skowhegan. If you're Nokomis, cannot allow anything from the three-point line here.
That's exactly, guard that perimeter. 2 points ties it up. A 3 wins the game. Keep the ball away from the hands of the shooters. Adam Savage, do not let him take a 3. He has been, in this second half of the game, he has been all over the arc, making those shots. Same thing with McCray. He's been a great three-point shooter so far. Got to keep those guys away from the ball, away from the arc.
So it's a 30-second timeout. Skowhegan taking their time with it. The official trying to hurry him up there. A huddle from the Warriors after they take the court. Same group of players for both sides. A stop here puts Nokomis in a great position to win this one. Savage coming off the screen. They're looking for him. He doesn't get it. It goes to LePage instead. It's McKinney with some space for 3. It rims out. Donahue, offensive rebound. A foul on Townsend. A foul on Townsend. Nokomis, just their 4th team foul. So Skowhegan will not be in the bonus yet. It'll just be an inbound. 5 seconds off the clock, and we'll try it again. This time it's Savage to inbound. He gets to McKinney. Kyle LePage, top of the key. Back to McKinney. 22 seconds on the clock. Bounce pass to McCray. Donahue. Feed. LePage. Hook shot. No good. Rebound. Hartsgrove. He's double teamed.
Hartsgrove, smart play there. Calls a timeout. You see that in the corner. Absolutely beautiful play there by Hartsgrove.
And it's interesting, just watching the official there, it was almost as if he was going to call a foul and then elected, of course, after Hartsgrove calls the timeout, which is a safe play.
Yep.
Which is the safe play in that situation. So with 8.4 seconds to go, Warriors holding a 2-point advantage, 47-45. We'll get the ball in the backcourt. Just got to milk this clock out. Of course, Skowhegan likely going to foul, looking for the steal on the inbound.
Now Skowhegan's put themselves in quite the predicament, though. 9 fouls. Another one's going to send our Nokomis players to the line, where they've been, knock on wood, shooting pretty decent tonight.
Yeah, it'll be 2 shots from here on out for the Warriors. So realistically, you get the ball in here, you got a chance to ice the game at the line.
And you know, something about that last play that I've kind of noticed as a trend throughout the game is Hartsgrove has absolutely locked up LePage when they've been one-on-one in the paint. He has done an absolutely fantastic job there.
Yeah, it's been huge. And LePage almost shot himself in the foot a few times, though, with all those travel calls. But take nothing away from Grady Hartsgrove's performance down low. Here we go. Ball gets into Grant. And Grant will draw the foul. Grant, not a player you'd mind having at the line if you're the Warriors.
No, not at all. And he's had a decent night tonight. I mean, slow compared to what we usually see, but you know, in terms of on all aspects of the ball, he's been a key player.
Well, you take a look at Alex Grant, and you see last year he was incredible from beyond the arc. But you also have the Flag brothers taking away all the pressure from him,
and that makes a huge difference. You know, he was getting, and not to take away from his shooting ability, but he was getting wide open looks from beyond the arc. And the nice thing was for him is even when he missed, the Flags are there to put it right back down.
Regardless, he knocks down the first, a chance to make it a 2-possession game. And he's ice cold from the line. Timeout Warriors. 49-45. Nokomis in front. 7.2 seconds on the clock here. And if you're Coach Earl Anderson, no threes and absolutely no fouls on a 3-point shot.
That's going to be the key. Don't foul them. Don't let them shoot threes, but especially don't foul them.
So here we go. Skowhegan quick out of the timeout. Nokomis taking a little bit more time. Once again, a 30-second timeout, getting milked out a little bit longer than it needs to be. For Skowhegan, you have Fitzgerald coming back in. Nokomis is going to elect to keep Townsend on the court here for a defensive possession to finish off the game. Light pressure applied. Touchdown pass to Savage, intercepted by Grant. 6 seconds on the clock. Grant just trying to run the clock out. It goes to Townsend. Now White and Skowhegan are going to let it happen. Nokomis win it 49-45.
And I think this is a huge message by Nokomis. Yeah, they lost the Flag Twins, but they're here to play. They're here to run the North still. The champions are coming back, folks. Absolutely amazing.
So our Hartley's player of the game, going to have to give it to Madden White, who had an incredible game, did it on all ends of the floor. Of course, it was a tough decision. Grady Harsgrove had a heck of a game. Put up, 12 points?
12 points from Harsgrove, that's right. But I think Madden White with his 16 points, and where that really came was in that overtime period. He took over the offense for Nokomis in a much-needed way, put them over the top, really gave them the W.
Yeah, so the defending state champion Nokomis Warriors improved to 2-0 on the season. Skowhegan falls to 0-3, which is incredible. So as I mentioned earlier, Skowhegan will play Erskine at home on Thursday, and Nokomis will travel to Mount Blue in 2 days' time. That will tip off at 7 p.m. away in Farmington. But a great game tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, it's been Ryan Bell alongside Ashton Karen bringing you the action on Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting.
Any public performance, rebroadcast, distribution, or unauthorized retransmission without the express written consent of Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved. 2022 and 23.